Mollie Ehlers runs Ehlers Building Maintenance, a commercial cleaning company out in Kansas City. Before working with us, she was adding maybe one new account per month. With the outbound lead generation system we built for her team, that jumped to 4 to 10 new accounts, new customers per month, 3 to 5 good quality leads a weekday, and roughly $200,000 in new annual recurring revenue. And it wasn't just a 1-month spike. We recorded her interview back in September 2025.
We did 1.4 million last year. We're going to end up with 1.6 this year if we don't grow. So again, we are growing at least by 200,000 this year and maybe more before the year's up.
So that's what she told us a while ago. And we're still generating leads for her team as I record this in July 2026. If you're new here, I'm Spencer with Outbound Hero. We help commercial cleaning and janitorial companies generate quality commercial leads on a daily basis during the week through Outbound. This isn't just a testimonial. I'm going to be breaking down exactly what created that result for Mollie and her team and give you a few things that you can use as tips and actionable advice to generate leads through Outbound, whether you talk to us or you don't as an agency. That's totally fine. If you don't want to book a call, there is a link to discuss our services in the description of this video. It's a calendared link, but back to the point. Mollie didn't have an operations problem. She had the team, the experience, and the capacity to take on more accounts. What she didn't have was the pipeline, the sales pipeline. That's what a lot of commercial cleaning companies see and experience. They're good at getting the staff, they're good at having the work done, but they just can't get the new customers to actually do the work. It's about getting enough consistent conversations with the right decision makers in the right service area. And cleaning, commercial cleaning has natural churn. Clients leave, budgets change, competitors underbid. So if you're only adding 1 or 2 new accounts a month and you're losing a few, so 3, 4, 5, you're going to be flat or slowly declining, or you're going to be having one customer or a couple customers that take up the majority of your revenue. So if they leave, a bunch of your revenue is gone, and who knows what's going to happen after that. The first takeaway, if you've got the team and the capacity, but you're not growing, you don't probably need to go after the operations and try to fix that. It's usually where you want to be fixing the pipeline, the sales, and the client acquisition. On lead quality, back then, Mollie had tried appointment setters and cold callers before. Those channels work, but a lot of vendors don't understand the actual commercial cleaning space. Her biggest issue was appointment quality. The meeting looked booked on paper. It looked good. The meeting bookers, the appointment setters, cold callers, are just trying to get as many meetings scheduled, but the intent wasn't there. Sometimes the prospect just wanted the cold caller off the phone. So they said, yes, you can come by. Sure. Sometimes it wasn't even the decision maker. So here's a filter you can use on any lead source, whether it's cold email, it's cold calling, really anything that you're paying for as a lead source. A real opportunity has 4 things: intent, context, the right contact or influence the right contact, and a clear next step. If a lead is missing any of those, it's not a real lead. It's a drive across town for nothing. It's a contact. It's someone throwing contact information at you. It's not real intent in your services. So here's what we built for Mollie to help her get more accounts. We find the right facilities and the right contacts. We send a simple, relevant email through healthy email accounts, so healthy infrastructure, and then recontact people over time. So we know it's about timing. It's not about trying to create demand. You can't force someone to be interested in cleaning. Yeah, you can show up and convince them, but we're behind a screen. So we need to capture people when they're in market. When someone replies with interest, we CC Mollie and her team right into the email thread. Now the conversation is warm and the prospect is waiting to hear back from Mollie and her team. But these are warm leads. They're not hot leads. Yes, some can be piping hot, but the majority of them are warm or lukewarm. So she knows that, the team knows that. So we're going to them, and Mollie and her team know that it needs to be very quick when they respond back. So what I like to say is we're trying to cure their skepticism, especially email. There's bad actors. There's people trying to hack companies. Yes, larger companies have cybersecurity in place to block those people, but they still get through. So the last thing someone wants is to be a reason for their company being compromised by an email security loophole. So what I'm trying to say is people are already skeptical over email. That means when you're getting a lead through email, someone took the time to look over the email, maybe talk about it internally, and then take the time to respond back to you and ask a specific question, tell you that they're actually interested and are interested in getting a quote or scheduling a walkthrough, or even telling you when they're available. You need to act very quick. Yes, they are interested, but that interest can go away within an hour, if not minutes. Very quick. So speed to lead is huge. And I want to emphasize, again, we're going to them. So the follow-up is fast. Here's the exact cadence that works. You can run this on any lead that you get from any channel, whether it's Google Ads, whether it's from Thumbtack, whatever it is. Call first, ideally within 5 to 15 minutes, if not sooner. If they don't answer, call right back. When it gets to the voicemail, hang up, call them. Gets to the do not disturb, it shows importance, it works. It's called double dialing. Leave a voicemail on that second dial if they don't answer. Tell them who you are. Since it's an email reply for our service, just say what they're interested in. information, so licensed, bonded, and insured, getting a quote, scheduling a walkthrough for a Tuesday, and then tell them that you're going to be sending them an email with your availability and also maybe even answering their question that they asked in the email. So in the email thread, this needs to be a quality email for that first attempt. If you can't send a quality email because you don't have time, wait 30 minutes to an hour or first thing next morning if you made that phone call first. If for some reason you can't make that phone call first, prioritize the email. But you should always be making the double dial first no matter what. If you're in the car, if you're not able to be on a computer, make the phone call. Pull over, of course, do what's legal, but that's a huge thing. Speed to lead, phone call first, and then have a quality email reply. By a quality email reply, it means responding to whatever they asked very quickly and knowing that your job is to book the meeting. Same thing for the phone call. Your job is to book the meeting. So be very concise and go for the meeting. If they're in the right service area, you validated that they're a good fit for you. Just make sure, especially like someone might say it's for an office way out in the boonies that's not even close to you. Know that and take action accordingly. But if it's a good fit for your business and you would like to work with them, you're going to say, I'm available on Monday at this time, this time, this time, Tuesday at this time, this time, this time. So Tuesday at 3 p.m., 3:15, 4, 4:30, so that they can simply say back in the email and respond quickly. Again, because you're being quick, they can say, sure, you can come by Tuesday at 4:15. I'll be in office. You can give us a quote then. Now, if they're not available at that time, that's totally fine, because in your email reply, you should also be saying when you're replying, when you're following up with that person that gave you positive intent, if any of these times don't work for you, let me know a time that does. So of course, leaving it open-ended in that way. But don't just say, hey, when are you available next week? Or when are you available tomorrow? I'm available. Like, tell them when you're available, show some authority, make it easy for them to respond and get the next step scheduled. If they don't respond to your phone calls, your voicemail, of course, or your email, the next step is waiting 2 to 3 days. If you want to be a little bit quicker than that, you can follow up the next day, but just to make it simple for the team, follow up every 2 to 3 days. That involves the call, so double dial, a voicemail again, and an email. The second time you email them doesn't need to be extremely complex with the time slots that you're available. You can maybe bump what you said earlier, or you can say, hey, are you available tomorrow between noon and 4 p.m.? Like, just be very concise, or 2 days from now, noon to 4 p.m. Every time that you reach out, again, call, voicemail, email. This is going to basically be 28 attempts, so 7 times 4 over about 23 days, because every 2 to 3 days. So know that. You need to have the follow-ups, and you also need to be very quick on that first attempt. And I will tell you bluntly, if you don't move fast, you wait a day or you wait 2 days, even if they looked great and they said, let's schedule a walkthrough in 2 days from now, they're likely going to go cold. So no matter what marketing channel you're using, especially with cold email lead generation, like what we provide, be quick and follow up consistently. And I'll just tell you, like, lead generation creates the opportunity, but you still have to work the lead. And Mollie got results because she actually works the lead. Her team works the lead very well. So on the first email itself, the message usually isn't the magic from our email campaigns. If someone's in the market and the email is relevant to their facility or their team, they'll respond. If they're not, the best email messaging and copy won't change that. You can't really create demand. You can't force them to be interested, especially over email. That's just not possible. So keep your email super simple, save them time, and have a personalized question about their facility. Then say something around the lines of what you do. We provide commercial cleaning in the Kansas City metropolitan area. And then finally, ask them if they're open to a conversation and getting a commercial cleaning quote or a complimentary quote. Subject line is important, but not in the way you might think it is. So subject line that works is cleaning or cleaning in Kansas City. Boring beats clever. The thing that's actually going to get them to read your email is being very concise in the subject line and have that personalized poke the bear question that you get help with AI to write that in bulk through Google Sheets, or if you use clay.com like we do. But the subject line gets them to read it into the email, and don't have them read the full subject line and be like, I'm not going to read this because it looks like a sales letter or a sales email. Make it super ambiguous, vague, just topic based, and looks like it potentially came from someone internal or a friend. Let them read the rest of the email. Let them click into it. And you need to treat this as a long-term market coverage, not just a one-time blast. Most people won't respond in the first pass, and that's totally fine. A lot just aren't ready yet. It's all about timing. So here's the math that most people miss. If you contact someone once and they're not in the market that week, you lose them if you never contact them again. So contact them every 45 days to 60 days with fresh email copy that's rotated. So change the call to action to be at the very top. Hi name, are you looking for a complimentary cleaning quote and having a conversation? We provide commercial cleaning, yada, yada, yada. And then again, what I said earlier, which is the core email, it's hi name, personalized question. We provide commercial cleaning in the XYZ area. Are you open to a conversation and arranging a complimentary cleaning quote for your facility? But really what you're doing is you're switching up the messaging so the email filters don't catch you. It's not the people. They won't remember your email probably 3 days after you send it, and they see it, if they do see it. But the thing about it is you're capturing timing. You're capturing demand when people are looking for services and are in market. So you're contacting the same list and you're continuing to enrich it, find new people that are new to the company, people that change roles, people that leave the company. That happens. So emails are going to eventually bounce. Make sure you're playing that safe. We have a system in the back end that does that for us, and it's all automated. It's great. But if you're doing it manually and you're doing it yourself, just be very diligent, watch a lot of YouTube videos and ask around how to do it. But the bottom line is that we allow the system to run in the background. And Mollie, when we first started working together, it's a great fit because she already had the company. She already had the experience. What changed was we added the pipeline for her. Yes, we are one piece of the puzzle and she's adding more to it. We're not the only end all be all, but most commercial cleaning companies can't grow because they can't develop pipeline and work out of abundance, meaning adding new customers versus staying flat or declining steadily. The companies that are able to grow their pipeline and have the people and the companies, the facilities in their service area know they exist by reaching out with whatever marketing channel, including cold email, is going to help you grow your business. So if you take one thing from this video, take this. Take your best lead source, commit to calling every lead within 5 minutes that's generated, and then also recontact the people that don't respond. Even if they're generated from a different channel, Google ads, if they're coming from cold call, if they're coming from a marketplace or SEO from your website. If you don't get in touch with them right away, recontact them every 45 days to 60 days, and that will capture the right time because you never know what's going on behind the scenes for that specific prospect. Maybe they're in the market, maybe they pulled themselves out because they don't really need better pricing and then they get a thing from their boss to go look for better pricing. So you never know. Every 45 days to 60 days works for interested leads that go stale, but also especially for cold email lead generation. That's what we provide. So if you enjoyed this video, I guess if you learned something and you do want to talk to our team about getting more quality commercial leads in your service area, leads that you actually want to speak with for recurring services, not just one-time cleans, go to the description of this video. There's a Calendly booking link. It's a general booking link, and we'll talk about how we can get you more quality leads on a consistent daily basis. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.